Hello, everyone. Welcome in to Discin Deals coverage. Kenny is not frozen. He sure
No,
is
I'm not.
acting like it, though. We have the crew here tonight. We're going to have some fun talking a little bit about the Nevada Open. Tyson, this is
Yo,
your show,
yo.
baby. I'm going to let you kind of run it. I'm gonna hand the mic over to you. You tell us what we got in store for everyone tonight.
So, I'm the tournament director for the Nevada Open for the fifth year now. We're just gonna, I'm gonna welcome everybody first that signed up so far, and those who are going to be signing up through the week. Registration doesn't close to until Friday. No, I'm sorry, Thursday, 8 o'clock. That way we can get early check-in on Friday. We also got a long distance competition that Richard's going to put on in the city of Nevada. And then we're going to have a little buffet thing at the country club this year. But yeah, I just want to, this is my fifth year running this event. It's going to be another good one. We added the country club. The guys are going to talk about. I just want to thank everybody that has signed up, like I said, and let's have a good week. Um, Richard's gonna have a word or two.
Oh, I am.
You are.
Yeah. So, Richard, let everyone know who you are. Maybe not everyone knows. You are the reason that this tournament runs here in Nevada. And so, tell us a little bit about it and some good things about you.
Unmute yourself first.
All right. Richard, I forgot to tell you, you're muted.
Volume down. All right, let's try this again.
We're good.
I'm the Parks and Rec director for the city of Nevada. My first year as the Parks and Rec director was the first year here in Nevada, and I was hooked after that, and I started staying in communication with Tyson, and it's just blossomed into what we see today. The players are awesome. Tyson and the crew are awesome. So it is just, I don't know. It's hard to explain, not unless you've been a part of this. You get that feeling of excitement and just, even for a non-disc golfer like myself, that I really want to grow a sport for the disc golf community.
Love it. Love it. Are there any, any main sponsors that you want to give a shout to, Richard?
Any sponsors?
Well, Farm Path, you guys, under par for sure. Kenny,
No.
these guys here, they're
Prodigy.
reasons why it has been so effective over the years. But I would definitely say Farm Path Tours, under par, Scott Reek. Those are the two vendors and sponsors that I want to yell out.
All right. All right. Beautiful. Well, tonight we're going to talk about, Scott's never had anything nice to talk about ever. So this was really nice to hear, Richard. Thank you for doing that. So we're going to talk about these courses. So we have the OG courses that we had before, but they got tweaked a little bit this year. And then we have the course designer. We're going to say, I know more people may have had a hand in that, Scott. I don't know if that was solely you, but we'll talk about the new country club course here at the end as well. But first, Kenny, we brought you on because I know you were a big piece of some of the changes within the course itself on the OG courses. I figure we'd start with the outside course first. And tell me some of those changes. I have the map pulled up here, so I'm going to share my screen.
Cool, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to bring my iPad over here. So, first of all, at the end of, 'Last year, we're getting a lot of great feedback, and Scott and I kind of took on the role of really honing in on the courses. And so between the two of us, we've been there a few times, and made a few laps around the courses, and have come up with what we're looking at now. So right off the bat, I will say one thing is it's been awesome to be able to connect with Jeff over at Frankie Peters. Man, the course is looking great. Last time we were out there, a lot of the tall, rough, for instance, off of hole 1 on the outside course, that rough that's on the right side, it's all mowed down to where it's not going to be difficult to find discs in there like it was last year, things like that. So kudos to the crew there at Frankie Peters for sure. But getting to the courses, so hole 1, the big thing that's changed on hole 1 is we've moved the long tee pad closer to the parking lot, which basically makes the shot a little more difficult, or at least it gives some options to throw the big hyzer around where the red fairway line is going, or there's the flick between the trees there. So I feel like that's a pretty good change. And then there's really nothing to hole 2. Hole 2's about, one of 3 or 4 holes that hadn't changed much at all. Moving to hole 3, we had a lot of feedback about hole 3 that kind of pinch point was really difficult, and it was making it to where there wasn't much room to be very aggressive. So we heard from a few different people. We're moving the tee pads both up to where you can get a little bit more aggressive off the tee. However, we're moving the green back a little bit to make it a little bit more of a difficult green, where it's a little closer pinch point. And then moving around to hole 4, move the tee pad up just probably 30, 40 feet, something like that. And then the basket's actually going to be on the side of the hill there. So the green got a little bit more difficult. Hole 5, same tee pad, same basket placement. The only thing we did there is we added the OB on that sidewalk behind the basket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So hole 6, if you remember, was on the other side of that the other side of the gravel path.
It was by this tree, right?
Yeah, it was up by that tree. We moved it back, and to the left, you're carrying over some rough. So it makes it a little bit more difficult of a hole. And I think it'll be fun. And then hole 7's changed quite a bit because we were wanting to take that low area a little more out of play. I mean, it's just, if you got down in there, you're going to be knees deep in mud and everything else. So we're actually going to be teeing off from the gravel roadway there. And then the basket was just short of the green, kind of on that hill, that slope. We're back into a smaller area for the basket past the green. And so that'll be a fun hole. Overall, we're trying to also shorten some of the holes, but on the outside course, we're not doing as much shortening. But on the inside course, you'll see here in a little bit. Yeah, there's quite a bit that was taken off. Hole 8, green got a lot more interesting on this one. So both tee pads have moved up considerably, and then the basket used to be a lot closer to the green back in that corner.
Yeah.
And it moved over on the left on the ball golf tee pad. And so there's that area, if you look at the purple there, that you can fly over if you want to be real aggressive, and you're carrying over that little spot of OB, which is kind of cool. And then we get to two new holes. So we had to add we had to add a hole on the outside course because we were borrowing a green from the outside course for the layout for the inside course. So in doing that, we, instead of having the old hole 9 that basically teed off back there pretty close to where the basket is now, but off the green, and came down to almost where 10's basket is. Instead, we're going over and shooting about a 299 foot island. So everything outside of that orange circle shape right there plays as hazard. And it's about a 260 carry, I think, if I remember correctly. Hole 10, about a little longer, but just basically should be, I say easy, but there's a lot of ways of getting to that basket, but there's also a lot of trees in the way. So 11's changed quite a bit. So we used to tee off on the other side of that golf fairway, and it used to just be a pretty easy shot right over the green. The basket was a lot closer to the green, and now it goes down to a pinch point. It's going to be really interesting from the longs. I'm looking forward to seeing how people play that hole. 12 is actually the same. 13 is the same. 14, the only thing that's changed on 14 is we added that hazard line. So if you are on the tee and you want to play aggressive and play out to the left, if you can't get back in, then you're not going to lose distance, but you will take a stroke from that hazard. 15's the same as it used to be. Same hole, different hole numbers, and then 16, the next hole is the same as well. This is the next hole. We used to tee off from that middle of that fairway and go back to a hump that's back there by that pond, but instead we're eliminating that, going straight over, playing the exact same hole 17 that we played last year, and 18 is basically the same as well. So all in all, I think we made some good changes. Got some good feedback. Scott, do you have anything to add to that?
No.
That means I nailed it.
That's exactly what it means. All right. Well,
sweet.
Pretty nice changes. Looks like you're listening to feedback. Well, let's talk about the inside course then.
So the inside course, again, lots of small changes. Hole 1's exactly the same. Hole 2, we only have one tee pad now. We used to have a long and a short. Well, this tee pad's kind of in between the two, and I'm getting version updates. So this one's in between the two. And last year, the tall grass that's on the right was OB, and so this year there's a nice window between those trees that you can be aggressive if you want to be. So I think that's a good change. The OB on the left is going to be a little bit tighter than it was last year. Last year we pretty much centered that fairway, and this year it's going to be probably another probably 5 feet closer, 10, maybe even 10 feet closer to the fringe on that side, their edge of the fairway.
All right.
3's the same. 4 went back to the old, the shorter placement. Basically, what I was hearing was when we changed it to that long placement, it was 0 score separation. Everybody played it exactly the same. So now it's a shorter hole, but there's lots of hazard. There's actually hazard long of that sidewalk as well.
Okay.
So yeah, it'll be not quite an island, but pretty close.
But yeah, surrounded.
Yeah. Hole 5, the only I moved the tee pad up a little bit, just to allow people to be a little bit more aggressive, and it was kind of an in-betweener hole. In the process of doing all this, getting the feedback, I actually pulled all the data and looked at numbers and where pars were, stuff like that. So, some of the holes changed just based off of that. So, hole 6 is exactly the same. Hole 7, the tee pad for the long might be a little bit shorter. The other one is the same as it was last year, but the basket moved to the right side of those trees on a ball golf tee pad. And so a lot of people were complaining about that OB being so tight behind. So this will give a little more of a option to air it out on the right side.
Yeah.
8's changed quite a bit.
Oh yeah. Used to be over here, right?
Yeah, it used to be. Yeah, there was the long. Yeah, the basket was there. There was a there was a long tee pad that was behind the trees near the big pond.
Yeah,
and
over here.
It got cleaned up. Well, we didn't clean any of that up. We moved the tee pad over. So if you remember on the outside course, hole 6, the tee pad is in that same little area strip. It's just a little bit higher on the map there. So basically, from the long tee pad, you have to choose to go one way or the other around there's one tree right here. Okay. And then so it's a good drive down here, but then the green is really tight. Now the little just above the basket here on the map, there's a spot where it's actually opened up a little bit more because they were able to go in there and mow, is what Scott was telling me today. So I would say that's going to be a little bit more generous, but I'm telling you right now, that's going to cause some fits for people, that green. So you can thank RonCon for that, by the way. So he's one of the guys that was just telling me, like, hole 8 was like, man, just right there, it was kind of a boring hole. So it's not boring anymore.
No, it's got some that green looks tight.
It's got some teeth. The water's close right behind there. Yeah, it'll be interesting. 9's basically the same, but shorter for both the long pad and the short pad. I was hearing that was like no one could really get there. There was very, very few birdies. So we're and remember, the basket is on that mound.
Yeah.
So so hole 10, 10 got a little shorter, both long and shorts. And the tall grass that was on the left is now playing as hazard instead of OB.
Okay. So
it gives people, people can be a little bit more aggressive. 11, man, we're not changing the island hole. Yeah. It is what it is.
So here's where we shape under par exclusive.
I believe so.
Scott, is that all you again?
That's the under par hole, right? Always.
He refuses to speak.
He's like, yes. So if you remember from last year, hole 12 teed off from just a little further up in that fairway, and it went all the way down to where the bathrooms are. It was so super long. Yeah, I went down there by that green on the right.
Here's over here, right?
Yeah. So we eliminated that hole and cut quite a bit of distance off. And then 13, the next hole, actually teed off in the trees by the bathroom and came straight down to where it's showing as hole 12's. No, I'm sorry. Go back to hole 12, to the last hole. So last year, if you go back even further, by the bathrooms up there, by that bathroom where all those trees are, that was the tee pad. This was a 1,000-foot hole. And so we shortened this hole up. There's the A pool, B pool are going to share the same tee pad.
Same position of the tee or the basket? Same
What's
basket
that?
placement?
Same basket placement, yeah.
Okay.
So it basically almost cut the hole in half distance wise. But it's still a par 4. I mean, it's still a good pool. So now 13 is another one that's changed. It was further into that, like the trees over there. Yeah. And so this was one of those things where I know how much of a pain it is to clear stuff out for a tournament for, one weekend. It was much easier to have the guys just go in and mow out kind of an island. A lot of people were trying to fly that tall grass to get a birdie, and then they would be short. They'd have a hard time finding their disc. They'd have to go to the drop zone. So to make it easier and for speed of play as well, I won't say easier, but more speed of play, we decided to do an island with hazard around. So now you can still, you could technically lay up short of the hazard and pitch over.
It's a keyhole, not an island.
Yeah, I guess keyhole. Yeah.
I can see it.
And then instead of like last year, we went from there and we walked around to get the 15's tee pad.
Yeah,
yes, exactly. And so instead, what we decided to do is keep dropping down, put a tee pad here, throw across the water, and then the mound where the basket is the exact same mound that's we were using on the outside course for that little shorty. So yeah, it's a blind shot to that green. It'll be interesting to see how it gets played. I imagine it's going to be a hard birdie, with it being blind and up on the mound. 15, same thing. They did a good job of mowing that down for us this year. So the basket is tucked in there a little deeper than it was last year, so that'll be a little bit of a change. And then from there, 16, 17 are the same. 18, we did away with the long pad. Pretty much even the short pad's a little shorter than it was for the pad last year, but we're playing from the same pad for both pools.
Okay.
And yeah, finishing basically the same green as last year. So that's a lot of changes for it not to seem like there was a lot of big changes, but we did tweak. There's small tweaks here and there. So
yeah,
I think it's better for both courses, honestly.
All right, love it. Well, after all the changes there to Frankie Peters, we now have the Nevada Country Club that was Scott's baby here. So let's jump into that and have Scott talk to us about this course. I don't know if you want to go hole by hole, Scott, or if you just want to call out some key holes that you really enjoy. It's kind of on you on what you want to do there.
I can go hole by hole. I'll do it a lot faster than Kenny did, though.
All right.
All right, hole one's going to be a pretty fun, unique signature shot. It's 500 and some feet, but it's about a 30-degree incline all the way down. There's OB in left and right and a green right beside it. But for the first shot, if you're starting on hole one, it's just a beautiful blast to see a flight go down. It's I don't remember all the distances, but it's 500 and some feet, par 3. So it's definitely a good 3, but with the way the angle, stuff like that, if you could get good flight, I think a lot of people would be surprised how many 2 opportunities would be there. Hole 2 We walk across the street to the right. This will be a lot more challenging shot. This one plays up off a golf tee. There's OB to the right, but between the sidewalk and that OB to the right is a full grove of trees. You can go to the left. It's a hazard, and there's a creek behind it. That'll be a good hole, good score separating style hole. Hole 3 is a little baby hole. It's like a little bowl. There's the OB that kind of goes all the way around it, but the yellow in front of it is hazard. So if you're short, it's hazard. But it's only 200-ish feet or so. But it kind of plays in just like a little bowl, and the back end is elevated. Hole 4 is a pretty like 300 some foot. Pretty straight shot into the woods, but the basket and woods are up on a platform, so you're kind of raised. This course has a lot of just kind of sneaky rolling elevation. Hole 5, kind of same distance going down. Danger to the back behind it. There is a OB Creek behind it and kind of a low ceiling in front of it. Again, probably 300-ish, but slightly downhill, well protected. Hole 6, you kind of get back into the harder, you're in the open. Most of that hole is fairly open going up, but there are a couple greens that you kind of have to stay away from. The basket's tucked in behind like the green and the road. So, but again, that'll be a fun bomber style shot. I can't read the screen very well. 7, you're playing up elevated up on top of the road, shooting downwards. And it's tucked into a bunch of trees, very pretty. I need to zoom in. Like, what are we doing here?
Do I need to get closer for you? Is that better for you?
Yeah.
I got it. I zoomed in myself.
Okay.
Hole 8's gonna be a pretty routine shot. There's a tree line kind of along the left. There's OB left and OB right. Again, it's 300 some feet. Very birdieable. Hole 9 will be a fun hole. Hole 9, me and Kenny went back and forth on this hole. So if you hate it, it's Kenny's fault. But if you love it, it's mine. But but it's elevated through trees. You've got a left option, a right option. It's kind of tucked back. There's a creek behind it. I think a lot of people are really going to like this shot. The one thing about this course versus a lot of golf courses, even Frank Peters from that, is we've definitely utilized a lot of the woods here. So as we're looking at all these holes, we're kind of going from trees to trees. So hole 10 is a tunnel shot. I don't remember how far it is, but it's a low ceiling tunnel shot. I think a lot of people are going to walk up, and that's kind of that signature. It's one of those holes. As soon as you walk up to it, you're kind of like, yep, we have to play this. Very beautiful shot. As you go down, hole 11, we kind of went back and forth and made some changes on it. This is going to be a fun shot. You're tucked way back into kind of a crevice corner underneath a bunch of trees. OB kind of cutting hard to the left, so you have to come out to the right, again into a bunch of trees. Even that basket on that placement, I feel like is probably even a little bit low. Almost feel like it should be a little higher because it's between the OB and that golf green. It's a very quick green when you come up over the ball golf green. So the execution of the landing is going to be very important. So the drive is going to be very important, kind of getting into that tree line, giving yourself a position to be able to attempt to get it up there for birdie. But your landing green is definitely going to take some skill to land that. Probably not a hard par, but it's definitely going to be a challenging 3. Hole 12. Oh, hole 12 is elevated. Hole 12 again, we're kind of playing through some trees, kind of going through the corner here. The basket is probably 60 feet above ground, like level, going upward. So it'll be kind of it's not a very long necessarily shot, but it's wooded all the way around it. A little bit rougher grass short of it, but yeah, it's elevated. 13, a little bit more open. It's probably one of the more open holes. There's this cart path along that left, which is the hazard. So you can definitely come in, like if you're coming in from a righty hyzer, it's going to be a little harder to attack. The lefty route is easier to attack, but you have the hazard. So there's definitely going to be a risk reward on that hole. Hole 14 is a pure uphill shot. It's, I don't know, I want to say, Kenny, what would you say, 60-degree grade? Probably.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, it's
it's
quite a ways.
and it's, so
Quite a ways
it's
up there.
straight up. It's not very long, but it's going to play longer. OB on the right, golf green on the left, OB in the behind it. I think a lot of people are going to really like it, but it's definitely a technical shot. Then 15 is going to be one of the signature shots. I wish these maps could do it justice, but 15 is a pure downhill shot. You got OB right and behind it, but you're actually throwing through kind of a low ceiling tunnel shot. You can go way left or way right, but they're probably not the most logical shots. But it's going to be fun to throw like a mid-range and just watch that flight, and you're throwing again kind of almost the opposite, probably at about like a 60-degree downward angle. 16. 16 is pretty basic off the tee, but the landing zone is also getting back up on an elevated green, so you're going across the golf fairway, but the basket is well protected with the trees. You got OB kind of building behind it, but it's up on a platform, so you're going to have to coming in nose up underneath the tree canopy. 17.
Ooh.
17 is going to be the beast. People are either going to love me or hate me for this hole. This is 850-ish feet. The drive is that big uphill, and then it goes back downhill, and then it goes back uphill, and then back downhill, and then finishes in a bunch of trees and gets more narrow as you get closer to the basket due to the property line and the path. This will be a par 5, kind of finishing at the end. Beautiful hole. Like I said, the first shot's pretty open up the hill, but you're going to have to land in a spot to be able to execute around the trees. It's very attackable, but you got to know how to land it. So I think this is going to be a hole, like I said, people are either going to punch me or give me a high five. So hole 18, we're kind of going back down the hill again. It's a little bit more open off the tee. There is a tree line along the left, property line along the right, and the basket comes into the back into the trees again. The drive here is going to require that, like, your best shot's going to be, you need to land into the left side of the fairway to give you a clean shot. If you're still on the right side of that fairway, you are going to have a little bit, not that you couldn't attack it, but you're going to have a little bit tougher ability to attack it. So kind of where that dog leg turns, you need to be left over there to have an easy, clean shot at it. So, but overall, when we talked to a lot of people in the past, we had Marmaduke before, which was about 7,000 feet, and this comes in at 7,000 feet. So the distance, but one of the number one complaints we got was people thought maybe Marmaduke was a little boring, just because you got the front section which has the woods, but then this back section was just the tall grass. And I can tell you this is anything but boring. It may both measure at 7,000 feet, but this is going to be it's a good challenge. It's a good challenge not because it's long or because of the way the course is. It's just the rolling hills, the slow elevation or the elevations, the landing greens that are up on kind of platforms. There's going to be a lot of required landing zones to get the birdies. I definitely can see the pros out here as an example shooting close to double digits if they execute it right. But as you get down to your B pool or C pools, it's going to get a little bit more challenging. And I tried to build it more around the Marmaduke. We had the outside course and we had the inside course. And so then this one kind of fits kind of in the same scheme as far as technical, but there's a lot of short holes. There's a lot of 300-foot holes here. So there's definitely a lot of holes to attack, but they're not necessarily give me twos either.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I know you keep saying there's elevation there and everything, and I wanna see it, man. So I can't wait to get the drone coverage on there and get this up for everyone to see too.
You're gonna get a leg workout for sure.
Oh, great. All right. Well, good work, boys, on all the hard work there. I know you still got things going on, still working on things as we continue. But let's get into our main reason to be here tonight, which is our draft. We're going to draft our future card. Kenny, we're going to let you have the first pick.
Well, I'm gonna go. I've got this pulled up, and I'm just looking through here, and I'm thinking there's a Missouri guy, this Fresno guy,
Yeah.
back to back winner. I think
Actually, I
it's,
think it's back to back to back.
Is it back
isn't
to
it?
back to back?
Yeah.
How many times?
It's a lot of backs.
At this point, it's hard to bet against him.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go with this Andrew Presnell guy.
That's a great pick.
I mean,
excellent pick.
You know.
And just so everyone is aware, Andrew Presnell had a guaranteed spot for being the back-to-back-to-back champion, and we're just letting Kenny feel good. Okay.
Thanks for letting me be a part of it.
Had to give him something.
All right. So I'll go last. Tyson, since you're TD, you want to have that first pick? The number 1 draft pick?
Yeah, I'll take the first pick. Yeah. I think he might be 1,002 rated last time I looked. I've known this kid for a long time now. He's having a great year, great college career right now. I'm going to go with Isaiah Esquivel
Oh, the homie.
from Emporia, Kansas.
Great kid.
That's a good pick.
All right. So Isaiah going to join Prezi on the card. I'm going to send it over to the mayor of Scott, Mr. Scott Reek.
All right, so I had to put some thought into this, and I could only find one 426 rated player.
Yeah, play.
No, the guy I've chose, he's a good friend of mine. He's had my back for a few years. He's definitely been a big part of the business that I do. It's kind of almost one of my number 1 advisors. He took a special day just to come down to walk the country club with me to give us another opinion about what we're doing. Just a well-deserving guy that works with me. TJ Thurman.
Let's go, TJ.
He could be 426 rated. I don't know for sure. I haven't looked, but I think he might be closer to 500.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Congratulations, TJ. You're going to join Prezi and Isaiah. And I'm going to get this final pick, boys. And I'm going to go with someone who should hopefully draw some views to the channel. He's been on the Pro Tour on and off this year. He's been more doing some regional things this year. I actually have his shirt on. You may not know that this is his, but he gave this to me when we filmed him at Classic in the Cali. And I don't think he uses this logo anymore. But regardless, I'm going to go with Joel frickin' Freeman. Thank you. I did have I had a backup plan in case someone stole Joel. So just so everyone knows, if it wouldn't have been Joel, I also had Adrian Chevalier geared up and ready to go because that dude bombs. And when some of these courses, it's fun to see people throw far, and that kid throws far. So, but Joel also
Well, just so you know, Duke Daly, he was my backup.
I wish I knew who that was. Is that me?
Yeah, might be.
Lucas.
All right. Well, I'm glad you didn't have to use your backup. I don't actually know if he's playing.
Luke Daly, that's your new name.
Okay.
Daly.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to be huffing and puffing, just getting up and down the hills. I don't need to be be playing. I'll have a camera in hand.
No.
All right. Well, before we take off, Tyson, anything else? Any sponsors you want to talk about? Anyone you want to shout out before we head off and get on out of here? Don't forget to unmute. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, for sure. I want to give the Nevada Country Club a shout out for inviting us over to this year. It's been in the talk last few years, but with them getting a hold of us, it's much bigger that we're there this year. I'm so excited for that course. I like Marmaduke, but everybody's going to like the Country Club this year, and it's a great touch to this tournament. I hope everybody gets signed up and get a chance to play that course. Scott created something special. Also, our main sponsor this year, only sponsor, City of Nevada. They come through every year. They want to see this thing grow, and they want to give back to the disc golf community. So come out and support the event, guys.
Yeah, and as Tyson mentioned at the first, everyone, you have until Thursday night to sign up. So make sure you're getting signed up. These dudes have put a ton of work in on these courses. The city is all in on this thing, and we want you all there. And if you're playing MPO, you even have an opportunity to potentially make it on coverage, but not on feature card unless you're one of the 4 that we talked about today. But thank you all for hanging out. Hopefully we'll see you in Nevada this weekend. See y'all.